this is truly the only way to go if you're a queen and you want to break out? Like, is there that thought process, with you or amongst the other queens? And like, how did Drag Race come into your life?
Drag Race came into my life when I was, I want to say 18. The first season was on. I'm the first ever generation of babies that got inspiration from Drag Race to like not start drag, but look at it and be like, wow, these are like three-dimensional human beings. I can totally do this. I mean, like, I can fix an outfit up. Like, it wasn't like we weren't hiring $10,000 designers to do our outfits at this point. Like, this is like, you do with what you have or make it on the spot. And I loved that grittiness and punk rockness of Drag Race. So I was like, oh my God, I can totally do this. But this is before I even put a lash on and sang my first number. So it's like, I was already like 2.5 years into watching Drag Race franchise when I did my first performance. So it's like, that had already like instilled an inspiration up my ass to be like, you can do this, girl. And you can sing, go slit the throats.
Go slit their throat. So listen, you came in second on your season. Did you think, did you have that mentality like, wow, I'm going to get far? Or were you shocked you got so far in the competition?
I only knew after Snatch Game because I knew that I would be good at Snatch Game. I didn't think that I would do as good as I did because they only show a fraction of what they want you to see. Of course, you know that as a viewer, and it's knowing people in TV and working in TV, but it's like that entire day was the most fun experience. And I remember everybody on set, even the workers were like the PAs were even like, this is going to be the most hard challenge the whole season. Like, this is the one that makes or breaks. And I was like, bitch, really? Like, I'm having a blast. Like, so like after that, I was like, I was thinking maybe top 5, maybe top 5. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I'll be Miss Congeniality because I'm very charming and I'm a little traviesa. But yeah, I just kept going. The snowball just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I was like, let's go for the ride, motherfucker.
Damn that Bianca Del Rio.
We love Bianca. I'm going to film with her next week.
We love Bianca. Listen, I'm from New York City, so I knew Bianca from her days at Intermezzo when she was in. As soon as it was like Bianca's on, going to be on the next season of Drag Race, everyone in New York that knew her was like, she's 100% winning, and people were like, "You're crazy! Yeah. It hasn't even started." We're like, "No, she's going to win the competition. There's no competition now." So,
and I'm never ever wrong when it comes to knowing the winners, like especially back then. Now it's a little weird because they all kind of look the same, like no shade, but like back then, as soon as they merged our groups together, I was like, fuck, it's gonna be me and her. Like in the like when it comes to like Snatch Games or like the improvs, because I'm really good at stuff like that, and I saw how quick she was and I was like, fuck, so it's gonna be like, I'm like, I got some competition, she's gonna win. Like I knew it was weird.
Do you still watch Drag Race now?
Oh, yeah. This is the thing that a lot of people don't know. Well, a lot of people do if you're following Drag Race girls. It's like we get hired to watch this content a lot. So I don't know if it's because I quit my first Drag Race All-Stars, like the first episode. So I always get called to do like viewing parties for the first few episodes. So I get hooked. So I'm like, now I got to know what the fuck happens next week. So it's like, yeah, we still watch. A lot of us still watch. I force Bianca to watch. She doesn't watch, but like I'll force her to watch a finale or something.
Right, you're like, honey, I'm getting paid for this. Like, I'm gonna watch.
I'm like, just watch it. She's like, it's all the same. Different show now.
It's not like the old days. But speaking of that, right? You mean you did quit? You were the first person ever to eliminate herself from the competition. Talk to me about that. And like, do you ever look back and regret that?
I don't regret quitting. I regret saying yes because I said no already to my manager at the time. I wasn't in the headspace. I was in the middle of an album. I had to put that on hold and pay extra studio time. I was just super annoyed. And then on top of it, spend like thousands of dollars on drag that I'm never going to wear again. So I was just kind of like, oh God. So as soon as I walked in, I was like, oh God, this doesn't feel right. So like right when like that was before any of the judging or any challenges or anything. So when you add that on top of it, I was just like, girl, give this to Coco. Like these girls care way too much. Like I need to go finish my record. Like I
Well,
don't
you
know.
you did finish a record and now you're going, you're starting the US leg of your world tour. You're a little busy, but like would you ever go back if the phone rang and they asked you to come back?
I think just because I'm busy all year round, usually like not to be like, oh, so blessed and busy, but like truly, like I'm very grateful for my position. But like right now, like we're even kind of booked till next year, like the end of next year. So it's like if I can get some time off and just kind of go to like some crazy silent retreat with like Courtney butt naked in some woods, um, and just like really think about it. I mean, maybe. You never say never, Justin Bieber said, you know? So I mean, I don't know.
Listen, Justin Bieber said never say never. What
Truly.
what about like where do you think you are? Like, where do you think we are like in terms of, like listen, RuPaul specifically in the show itself, has we all know there's been controversy over the years about, who can participate and their stance on trans and like, there's a lot of people and now we've had like Got Mick and we've had our first like cis male contestant. Like where do you think Drag Race is these days on like inclusivity?
I think I give it a year or two for them to have their first drag king. I think it's gonna be like super crazy. I don't know. I just think it's like if they do that, I hope they do like a few drag kings, like 3 or 4, because it's like they need to compete against the same kind of vibe, or maybe have like a spin-off. I don't know, because it's such a different game. Because like Rue's version of drag is this like super high femme, cinched at the waist, just bodied cartoon. So it's like I don't know how that would work, but I mean, I'd watch if you pay me.
But I mean, to your point, yes, if they pay you. But I think that's like a good point. Like, I mean, can't we have a spinoff of all, just a drag king competition? I think that would be brilliant.
Right? I think it'd be pretty neat to watch.
And I think it would like re-energize the franchise.
Totally. Totally. We can have like that air in the summer and then have all the drag race shit air in the winter. Look at
It,
us. They should hire us.
seriously, and it could be under Rue's auspices, so it's more money for RuPaul. It's more money for everyone. Like, listen, they don't even have to give us
All right.
that big a percentage, right?
All right. I agree.
Well, listen, you did reconnect with Paula on Drag Race. We all know there's just they get such great celebrity judges. What was it like, and did you interact at all? Yes, I'm going to ask you about Khloe Kardashian during your season. Were you interact with Khloe at all?
She said I was her favorite, so that's cool. Um, I mean, not really. Like maybe when we were like changing lights and stuff, like we would like have a little conversation and stuff. I want to say I said something about Kim to her that had just aired. It was like an episode, and I had said something like "Tell Kim something," and she laughed. It was like something that had just aired, and I remember like I was watching it in the hotel room, and I was like, "Tell Kim something something," and like she looked at me and like started laughing. But other than that, no.
Listen, you were Chloe's favorite, so there you go, right?
Exactly. We love Chloe.
And this is no disrespect to all the other queens, but like you said, like you do have a voice. Anyone that's gone to an Adore Delano show realizes, like, this isn't, and this really is not any shade to the other queens. You're not drag queen music. This is real music. You are now like a musical artist. It's not a gimmick. Was there a defining moment when you kind of moved away from Drag Race, like just in your own career or own mind, when you're like, shit, like this is really working. Like I'm a real touring musical artist, recording artist. It's real music.
Well, first off, thank you for that. I appreciate that compliment because that's what I work my tail off for. But thank you. Um, but probably the first time I toured, I think it was with when like right after everything was aired, like I would say after Vegas when they announced Bianca winning. We all toured the world together. Like the world. Like right after that, we like all packed up in a van, went on a plane for like World Pride in Canada. And like from there we did like so many different countries and cities together. And that's when I started realizing like, oh, this is a lot bigger than you think. And then it started getting like really wild. And then like because it was kind of like the latter of when everything started becoming like super mainstream almost, like almost, not yet. And it was like I started seeing like certain like not like news outlets, but like certain like papers pick it up and like I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be like bigger than I thought. But probably then, like right after everything was announced.
How would you describe your musical style?
And